What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of Reign of Kings, and so we're finally on the private server. It is ready to go. I haven't set out notifications or anything like that, but I'm going to do it right after I record this episode. Hopefully we'll get a bunch of YouTubers and other fun people on here, and we can have clan battles, and we can actually organize things, and actually show off what the game is capable of when it's not just like sheer utter chaos and people destroying each other. But for right now, we're going to create our character up and on the server. I've been very, very excited about this whole like sculpting process, and so let's go for it. I don't like the goofy looking bodies, by the way, so I almost never do them. I'm going to make a smaller character. Upper body muscles. Well, that kind of made my shoulders a little bit odd, though. Lower muscle. None. Oh, that's for your legs. Okay, so we can have, like, runner syndrome. Okay, so there it is. I'm not going to fiddle with any of this. Let's just go for the face. And so on our head, obviously, we only have two choices right there, so I guess I'll go with that one since I suppose it's a little bit more representative of me. We've got a little hairstyle right there. Maybe I'll go with something. I do like the long hair. I really sincerely do. And then maybe we'll call it brown hair right now. The ping on the server is fantastic. It's being hosted out of San Jose. I've got the administration rights and I can do it all through gameservers.com. I've been fiddling with it for a little bit. Ultimately, I ended up swapping companies on who was going to host it just because like it was taking too long through other groups. And so I had to record episodes today. We were like down to the line where I had lost like a week and a half of recording time. I was like, you know what? We just need to do this like right this second. Oh, that's for hair. Hold on. And then for the beard, I don't even know if I want a beard. Let's just go non-beard for right now. We can also have tattoos. I'm probably going to go after some kind of like woad paint or something. Something to make us super badass and like metal. Maybe that'll work right there. Does that change the color? Oh, it does. Okay, so we can go for like a woad color right there. Like, whoa. Although woad is like more blue, isn't it? Well, that seems about right. That'll work. All right, so we got forehead size. Not going to fiddle with any of that. Where is my availability? Ah, there it is. And so I'm going to have my guy. That's a little bit too light. I'm afraid that he's going to get skin cancer if I take him into this environment. Like, I like how we just float into this new world like on a board. That's all that they gave us. They were like, well, you've been exiled, but we're sending to you an island. Enjoy your fancy new board. And so they just sent us out that way.
Take him out. Boom. Feel the sting. Let the light of the heavens shine forth.
That's way too high pitched. Nope.
Like some mushy.
These muscles only get bigger.
Alright, that sounds a little threatening.
I will cut you down.
I don't know which one I like better. Let's just go for a ridiculously deep voice. That sounds pretty good. Let's make our banner, too, so that everybody... Oh, that's a guy... I thought that was like a smiley face bunny thing. If you look at it, there's the mouth and there's the eyes, but it's actually a guy in a cloak holding two crossed swords. It's quite a bit more threatening than what I was seeing in my head, but I guess that works. Let's choose a pattern first. That seems alright. I like the chevrons. The chevrons seem to work alright. And then on top of that, we'll plant down... I don't know. I'm having trouble seeing the color right now. It doesn't actively look like it's actually changing. It's got the alpha right there. Let's get a different icon. Maybe we'll go after... these all seem vaguely threatening. I don't know. Was that an owl? I do have a thing for owls. It looks like a double-headed eagle or something. It might be an owl. I don't know. Well, that one would go for the nerd castle right there. That would work out pretty well. Either that or a stag. I always use a stag in games like this because back in those times, it represents things that I like. Where's the stag at? I know the stag is up in here. I also like the boar, but... Oh, you can have 3 adorable little chicks on the front. Well, I'm doing that one then. And let's make sure they're the right color. There we go. 3 adorable little chicks of murder that can be a part of our banner. And so the banner pattern... It doesn't look like it's changing colors much at all right there. But you know what? I don't feel like that's changing even a little bit. What's going on with that? Is it due to the pattern, maybe? It might just be due to the pattern, I think. I don't know. Yeah, it's due to the pattern. Okay. Well, let's just make that, like, white over on that side then. I also don't like, how do you change that color right there? Can you even do that? I don't know that you can. Either way, let's go forth and let's enjoy building our new base in peace because I haven't given out any of the server information yet. Let's go! And this is actually my first step into the private server. So this is pretty awesome. I'm paying for it out of pocket with this one. I guess you get what you pay for. Like the other place was offering to set it up for free, but it took like a week and a half just to get like the basic IP set up. And I was just like, so I went to log in and the version hasn't been up. It was just a cavalcade of problems. And so here we are on our brand new island. It feels nice. It feels nice. The ping is sub 20 right now, which makes me pretty happy. I mean, the server is like 5 feet from my house as far as I understand it. So anyways, I did a little bit of IP searching. Okay, not 5 minutes from my house, but it's definitely pretty close. We start out with just our handy dandy club. That's all that we've got right now. And so seeing as in the last episode that I posted, our base had gotten destroyed by a bunch of people who were being dicks, I actually kind of want to set up rules for this server once I give it out. I want to have a powwow with everybody though, and maybe we'll actually put it up on Skype or something, and we can just turn it into kind of like a little roundtable blog talk about what we want to do with the server and how we want this to go. I would love to have other people's inputs once I have them join up on the server, but for right now, let's just get some of our basic stuff done so that I can have an episode up for all of you. Oh my god, playing this game at 0 lag is the most incredible thing ever, and it makes me very, very happy. Like, you can actually feel the difference in between, like, it feels so nice. I swing my club with all of my strength, and then it also sync up with when I click at the mouse. It feels so good right now. I like it a lot. I like it. I don't know how much wood we're going to need in order to get this done, but I wanted to get these starting little portions of our adventures out here done in a way because this is important. Like, from here on out, I want to actually, like, televise or throw up on YouTube as many, like, little snippets of what I've been up to on this server as possible. I don't know who's going to be king. I'm not going to dictate that. There's going to be no walls. There's going to be no administrator sort of, like, circumnavigation of the actual rules of the game. However, I would like to have it done on some kind of system where there's a rule that people, like, understand the way that it goes so that you can't just, like, steal it every single time somebody logs out. I don't know. We'll try and decide how we want to do it for right now, but either way, after this episode, going to send out the information. Everything's feeling really, really good and squared away. Hopefully we'll have a good time. The server is up on the browser right now with its name, but it requires a password, so ultimately I've just got to give the password out to a whole bunch of people, and then we'll just see how it goes. The server's locked to 25 people for right now, because, oh my god, server slots get a little bit expensive as you go higher and higher up. Once we get this wood, I figure 200 wood will probably be good enough. I'll note that we're chopping down wood with another piece of wood. We've got, like, woodception going on right now. We also should probably run down and kill some sheep up at the top of the map and get ourselves some skins and some hides to get ourselves working. I prefer that the server not have any, like, full annihilation rules where, like, you obliterate other people. I'm okay with, like, raiding and stuff, but maybe not, like, I don't know. Let me know what you think about the rules down below. I'd love to have a server where, like, you just don't destroy people's bases too badly. The tree is leaving. He no longer wants to play. He's out. Alright, well, we've got enough wood for right now to where I don't care anyways. We should also find some berry bushes while we're out and about here, unless we can make it over to the Sheep Mountain quickly enough. If we can make it over to Sheep Mountain quickly enough, as you might have guessed, Sheep Mountain is known for its very, very large assortment of sheep. Any type of sheep that you could want. Brown sheep, tan sheep, white sheep, furless sheep. Is it called full? It's wool. It's wool. Actually, I'm disoriented. I thought I was on the other beach, but I'm on this one right now. It's always good to know what beach you're on. So I'll probably go over here. It looks like there's a bunch of chickens over here. That might actually be a reasonable way to get some meat going as well. Obviously, the first thing you need to do when you land on a medieval island, figure out a way to get meat. It's the most important thing along the way. So let's continue to beat on some chickens over here. But yeah, let me know what you think about rules that you'd like to see implemented when we play on this server, because I think there's a lot of ideas out there, and there's a lot of different ways that we could play this out with the... I'm going to give out, I think, about 10 keys tonight, and then after that, I'm just going to invite, like, random people, I guess. I don't know. I can't make the whole thing public just because there's not enough slots, and I have to be sure that, like, we can get on, like, all the people that are YouTubers and whatnot can get on to record their episodes and stuff, because it is incredibly frustrating to not have anything set up, you know. You lose a little bit of time here. For those of us that do this as our job, like, losing several hours of recording time is essentially like losing an entire day's worth of work for you, you know, at your place of business. And so it does become a little bit cumbersome. And so if you can't log on to the server, you can't log on and all that. I haven't set up the config files or anything yet. I got to go through and rewrite the config files so that different people can be administrators and stuff like that. Make sure that if anybody sneaks on through, we can actually, like, ban and do all the things that we need to. But for right now, it looks like nighttime is up on us, and I took away that ladder. I have a ladder that runs up my leg normally that people will use to get on top of me, because obviously I'm quite the climb, being like 5'5" and all. However, I got rid of the ladder, and somehow they got upon me, and I don't know how it happened, but still, we gotta go kill some sheep. It's pitch black right now, which totally suckificates. There is an admin command that I could throw out there to make it be daytime again, but I haven't set it up, like I just said. So I just wanted to jump in and get an episode going, because it's been one of those days, and I just wanted to make sure that things were set up and you guys had an episode going in for tomorrow. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go farm out. Well, what is that over there? Is a bunny over there? I think I could probably chase sheep in the darkness without any, like, real problems, and I think we're actually, like, farther away than I expected. But anyways, once we get up to the sheep, I'll cut back in, and then we'll get some more stuff done. How's that sound? Alright everybody, so we're back in right now. We're up on Sheep Hill. I kind of zigzagged across that field right there in the most inefficient way possible in the hopes of maybe landing myself a couple of flax, and it worked out. We've got about 118 flax right now, which should be enough to last us for a little while. The next thing we need to do is actually bludgeon some sheep. I find that sheep are actually the easiest target on the entire map. Like, they are seriously the easiest thing to find, and so there it is. We're going to wipe these guys out right here. And the second we get these done, the reason that we're taking out the sheep, and I guess I'll treat this like a little bit of a tutorial, since this is going to be labeled differently from everything else. This is going to be our first episode of Reign of Kings on the private server, and so I'm actually going to label this as a separate series, I suppose. And then once we get, come on sheep, don't dodge me. He's trying really, really hard. That's like the world's most enormous sheep right here. The farmer that grew these things should definitely think about taking them to like the country fair or something like that. I don't know. I got a pig. My family got a pig from the country fair, and they had it turned into bacon and whatever. It was really, really good. It was the first time in my entire life that I've ever had the pleasure of like fresh bacon, and it was mind-boggling how good it was. Like, seriously, you might as well set up a boggle set right up inside my medulla oblongata, because that's essentially what that delicious food did to me. If you've never had fresh bacon before, like bacon straight off the farm, like straight to your table, not packaged or anything like that, I highly recommend it. Just once, you should try it. Like straight from the pig to your table. It was delicious. I felt bad for the pig, but you know what? He was way, way too good tasting to let go. We'll grab that right there, and then on this side, there's one more sheep left. I also want to get bones from in here. That's the other part, is that I'd like to get ourselves a nice little collection of bone. And so I think 5 sheep will probably get us set up pretty well for the future. Grab any flax along the way that we can. Essentially, I'm just trying to lock down a meat supply. We should also probably find some berries while we're up here. Might not be a bad plan. We got some wood out of the sheep. There's your old Settlers of Catan joke. Anybody got wood for sheep? Or whatever? I've got wood for sheep. That one's like such a popular joke that I think they told it on Big Bang Theory. And they acted like they made it up too. They acted like they made it up. I was like, that's like the oldest Catan joke ever in the history. People have been making that joke since like the day the game came out. I'm like, anybody want to trade wood for sheep? Anybody got wood for sheep? Huh? You got wood for sheep. I could tell you get wood for sheep. You look like it. You look like that kind of fella. Anyways, we got a bunch of bones out of this one. We got some wool. The wool is going to become important for making band-aids later on. Apparently, it's always obvious that we should harvest all of this out of the skull of the sheep. So just keep swacking away. Just keep on swacking. And who would have known that a blunt implement like a club would be so useful for shaving a sheep? So now what we need to do is we need to go back to the front end of the field over here. And in the front end of the field, we need to get ourselves the lovely stone that is over on the opposite side. Now, I'm only going to farm out like 50 or 60 of it because I don't see the need in doing a whole lot right now. We just need to get a basic shelter up and running for the night, and then after that, well, if our shelter's running, you better go catch it. But anyway, there's your refrigerator joke too. We're just recycling all the old humor here. All the old humor. As much recycling as possible. Apparently, it's all made out of aluminum or something. Aluminum and cardboard. Things of recycling. The sun should be up in just a second, so I apologize for the pitch blackness right now. I assure you that I totally know where I'm going, and I can ensure the experience as well. So I both assure you and ensure that we will get to where we go. One of the ideas I had for the server, just to talk about while we're running around, is that we would divide everybody up on the server into 2 separate teams, and each week, one team's job would be to hold this center field right here. That's their job. If they defend their crest and they're good to go, and every single day we would basically line up and do like a little recording or something like that of both teams fighting it out here in the middle field, and if there's a turnover, you score a point, and at the end of the month, whoever has the most points, whoever wins essentially, does a giveaway to like their fans where they pool everything or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens right there. I've been trying to figure out like a lot of fun stuff that we can do with all this, but I've been failed so far because I'm not good at orchestrating things, but hopefully once I get on Skype with everybody else, all the YouTubers and all the other participants, we'll be able to come up with something to make this a really, really cool and engaging experience. We need 25 stone in order to make that tiny wedge on the edge of our pickaxe. Well, I can make this happen. Let's go for a little bit more efficiency's sake, because frankly right now we're not doing so well. I just need like real tools up and in here. Let's get that going. When Splattercat's recording, there's always a real tool in the house. But that aside, let's continue to harvest. This will actually make our lives a lot easier. And while we're up here, I'll probably grab some iron as well so that we can jump straight to the iron tier and get going. That would actually be a really, really interesting way to play the game. Essentially set like a no rating rule. But the way that would be fixed is that the team that's up in the center, they would have to put all their crests side by side by side. And so they would be the rated, and then the raiders would be out there in the hills with their bases wherever they wanted them, working together to try and get into this place. And so I think that would be a really, really cool and interesting opportunity. I mean, even with 4 or 5 people, I think you can make it pretty fun, come up with a really, really cool series and make it work. But for right now, enjoy some Loverly Man Butt. How about that? Honestly, throw your ideas down below, because I'm open to just about anything for the way that the server's going to work right now. Not like... I just prefer to keep it like isolated PvP. Like, it's fine if you're fighting out in fields and stuff, but it's never fun to log back in and find your entire base leveled and they've taken all of your stuff. I'm fine with the robbing, actually, too. Taking all yours, it's mostly just the destroying the base just for the sheer of being a dick that bothers me. And so I think if we could add some structure or some roleplay to the server, I think we could actually turn this into a really, really cool thing. So, there you go. I'm going to keep gathering the stone over here. God, this is taking forever, but I don't honestly need this much. Let's run back up the hill on the other side. So there's 202. We're going to grab just enough iron to when we go back to our house, wherever we decide to pitch our proverbial tent. Whenever we go back to our house, we're going to try and make that work such that we can jump straight to the iron level with our harvesting tools, because everything below iron makes this whole thing just a debacle. And so, since I'm not a fan of debacle, and you'll forgive me as I'm curling my foot up right now, I like to reshift around like halfway through episodes just to make it so that it sounds unprofessional. I move away from the mic, just because I know how much people enjoy unprofessionality. Like, oh my god, it's so nice playing on a server without any lag. Every server I've been playing on over the last little bit has had either a ton of lag, or if it's actually got a decent ping, it's totally full all the time. And good luck trying to get anything done on a server with everybody around. Like, it's going to be a mess. So anyways... I think if we can get off to this iron node over here, like, the fact that I actually click and things instantaneously happen is like a new factor for me. I've never had this happen before. Even on servers that say they have like 55 ping, I don't trust it very much. I simply do not trust it. So I guess we'll run on over to this side, and then once we got this side all taken care of, I don't know exactly how much we're going to need in order to make the iron gear. I would figure we would need at least 200 iron, though. That would be my estimation. So let's get that all farmed out. We can't have a single episode without at least a little bit of irony. But yeah, that was my first thought, is 2 teams. One team is the defender, one team is the attacker, and that takes place over the course of a week. As long as you have somebody filming... That's the only part, is that I would be afraid that some people would actually miss the attacks and things like that over the course of the last week. And obviously the defenders, they could go out and farm, they could build up defenses, and then they can hang out. I mean, I've got to figure out a way to make it spruced up for the defenders, though, because, like, the defenders can't go out and attack the other random little bases around. You got to keep, like, some sort of structure, and so, obviously, I'd have to come up with some way for it to be interesting. I'm just spitballing right now. The other thing is that, like, you could just have 2 groups of clans and just have them do whatever. Like, red is dead, and, you know, blue is true, or whichever one you prefer. I mean, just have 2 teams that you set up at the beginning, and then we just put it on a little spreadsheet. And if you see somebody from the other team, it's engage on, you know what I mean? It's time to go and just get throwdowns going whenever you can. I'm hoping the server will be active. As it becomes less and less active, I'll invite more and more people and hopefully get that along. I hope that there's no, like, major leaks or anything from people, like, giving away the information and causing problems. Ultimately, all I have to do is change the password again, but still, it's problematic. Let's go on over to the other side, and I think actually we have enough iron for right now, so let's scope out a wonderful place for us to put our base, shall we? I don't want to be too far away from all the good stuff like iron and stone and all that. However, I know that I don't want to be center field, because I've never seen a base out here in center field that just does not get mercilessly messed with by, like, everybody, because it's right there. It's like right in the middle, out in the open. It's sort of what you get for deploying your base in such a... It looks beautiful. It looks nice when you deploy out there, but... it is not going to work well. As you saw from our last base, which was way on the other side in that prairie over there, people still just, like, locked onto it, and they're like, yep, I'm going to annihilate this dude, like, right this second. I am going to obliterate. Let's get this lined up right here. And once we get this out of the way, I think, how much do we have right now? Let me take a look at my inventory. We have 375, so 40 iron bars is pretty good. Being able to make 40 iron bars, I think, will help us get started. We've got more than enough meat to keep on eating. I need to find some berries while we're running around, but I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of berries along the side of the mountain right here. I'm not the king yet. We'll go and check on it in just a second. Maybe in the next episode. Maybe in the next episode. I'm going to distribute keys in just a minute after I finish recording this too, so that we can get some other people up and in here. Maybe get some conflict going on, some intrigue. I don't know. Maybe let people play it out the way that they want to, though. That would be the other option, is just let it be a free-for-all, and then we could get together and discuss alliances and see what we can handle and, like, see, you know, what people want to do with their time. Either way, it seems like it would be a really, really cool and fun idea. So I've only got the one handful of berries, which is a little bit disappointing for right now. I should probably make an axe for gathering up a little bit more wood, but frankly, that's stuff that we can do in between episodes in order to keep things running. So let's get that going right there. Okay, so 5 berries away, and I see another berry bush over here so that we can keep that berry deliciousness running down our throats as much as possible. Did I pick that one up? I don't think that I picked that one up. Sometimes you can just feel it. You're like, eh. Also, the fact that the bright red berries did not disappear when I went up in there, I think I would like another set of berries just in case. Like, we're going to have our food covered, but our hydration is going to be a problem into the future. I don't know where I want to build my base at for right now. I would choose a place where it's semi-obnoxious to, like, siege it. That would be my first thing that I would try and do, but, oh, I don't know. Anything works for me. We could be right underneath the King's Cradle up here, if you will. I've never built a base over in this region, so I figure I'll give it a go. And then once that's done, let's also maybe get an axe going real fast so that I can chop up a tad more wood in between here and the next episode, because if the wood is non-satisfactory, chop it, and maybe somebody will take it away and just be like, no! Alright, so then, it looks like we've got a reasonable amount of trees down here. We might be able to make a small... Oh, and I fell off a cliff and I wounded myself. I've been damaged down to the knees. Unfortunately, my thighs no longer available for questioning. They are annihilated at this point, although why you would question a thigh in the first place, unless you got like a really sketchy looking one from KFC. That would be the only other part that I would ponder, is like maybe if you got a sketchy thigh from KFC or from Popeyes or something, then you would question it. But questioning a human thigh, it doesn't have ears, it can't listen to you. It has no awareness of the situation that you are currently proposing. So I figure what I'll do over here during the course of this episode is I'm going to chop up some stuff over here. We're going to make a bridge maybe to go over to this little area. And once we've made a bridge, this little bridge of mine, I'm going to let it wind. Okay, so maybe we'll take a bridge across over to that little... Is that an island right there? Does it actually function as an island? Let's go check. I'm going to follow this tributary right here. We'll just kind of like see what happens. If it is actually an island, then I'll build a bridge over to it. But if it's not, I prefer to keep all of those sort of signs of human existence out of the way. Alright, well, it doesn't look too bad right now. In fact, it looks pretty good. There are bears over there, though, which might be a major deterrent to our long-term success. Bears being around, I can hardly bear to think about what it might be like to have a bear run up on your base and try and destroy you. So what I'm going to do for right now is I'm going to farm up a little bit. I'm going to get ourselves some materials. Once I get some materials going, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to distribute the keys out to as many people as possible to get them up and playing. I'm probably going to give like the keys to the YouTubers, and then I'll give them like 1 or 2 extra keys, and then give out a couple on my end too, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll kind of see the way that this plays out. I'm a little bit disorganized. I'm not good at stuff like this, so frankly, if I can delegate this to somebody, it'd be fantastic. But for right now, I'll see you next time. My name is Splattercat. This is the private server. Feel free, after I give out the keys, to jump on, play, do whatever you're going to do. We'll try and get some structure up and in here. The other thing I was going to say is feel free to leave comments down below as to how you'd like to see everything run. Maybe people that have LARPing experience or something like that, how you organize all of that to make sure that it's not just like a giant mess and that everybody has fun. I don't know. I just don't know. We'll see what happens here. My name is Splattercat. I will see you all next time. Take care out, everybody, and hi-do.